Hi, I'm Julie Kelly and welcome to the third of my 3 meditation techniques videos. So we've already covered the transcendental meditation, we've also covered Vipassana practice, and now we're going to talk about mindful meditation. And you're probably wondering what's the difference between mindfulness meditation and Vipassana, because both bring our awareness to the breath. Well, I wanted to actually talk to you about the differences rather than do a mindfulness meditation, because mindfulness meditation or mindfulness is kind of an umbrella to sort of encompass different kinds of meditation. So, for example, transcendental meditation brings your awareness above the present moment. It transcends the mind, so that it finds its own place and its own level of peace. Whereas Vipassana is the more observing of the breath and of the thoughts. It's bringing our mind to observe. Now, both of those practices are necessary to have a mindful way of life and to practice mindfully. But when we talk about mindfulness, we're not just talking about meditation, we're not just talking about a practice. What we're talking about with mindfulness is an actual way of life. So it's being able to accept experiences and accept emotions, thoughts and feelings that go with those experiences, but without creating a dialogue. Now, in our society, in the West, there's so much stress, it's unbelievable. If you work, you'll know the situation that everybody's running around trying to meet targets and deadlines and trying to get the work in on time. And those deadlines are just not possible to meet. So then what happens is people's minds become too busy and people go off sick. Now, if you don't work, these things can happen in relationships. It can happen at home, it can happen with the children. You know, the mind is doing too many things at once. Even if you don't have a job, it's still difficult. And the one thing that we forget to do is rest. Now, there's so much emphasis on physical exercise, on doing, on being on time, on being on point. And physical exercise is really important to keep our bodies healthy, but so is rest. And mindfulness is about giving the body that rest. Because when we look at meditation techniques such as Vipassana or Vipassana, what we are doing, we're bringing an awareness to the breath. And you know, our heart beats so many times throughout our lives. I don't even know how many times. Everyone's different, obviously, because some people die before others. And we don't give our heart a single thought until, for example, we might have a panic attack, or we might have anxiety and it starts beating faster than usual. And then we start to worry about our heart. But until that happens, really, we don't think about our heart. Now, the heart is, of course, an involuntary muscle, so it beats without us even having to do anything. You know, it's not like our eyes, you know, we blink. It's not like other muscles that we have to do. Obviously, when we move our arms, we're doing it voluntarily, but our heart, it beats just without us making any effort whatsoever. But we ignore it, we completely ignore it, and it's the one thing that keeps us alive. And it's the same thing with our breath. You know, we breathe, but we don't give any thought to that breath. So Vipassana is about observing the breath. It's about observing our thoughts and our actual bodies, our beings and our mind. And those things are needed in order for us to live mindfully. So all of the different meditation techniques that are encompassed under the umbrella of mindfulness, they're all needed for us to live a mindful life. So here's something to think about. When did you last eat a meal without looking at your phone or looking at the television or staring at an iPad or answering your mobile to someone? When did you last eat a meal and really enjoy it and really taste every single bite? It's really difficult to even remember, I guess, for most of us. Or when did you actually last walk through a park and really notice the birds singing in the trees, or notice some of the beautiful things around? That might sound like a really silly question, but usually it's really difficult to pinpoint a time when we actually do those things. So that's what living mindfully is about. It's not just about sitting, meditating, but meditation is a part of it. And the main thing about mindfulness, when we're doing all of those things and when we're being kind to others and when we're going out and we're noticing all these beautiful things, we should always remember to turn those things inwards, because we deserve compassion just as much as the next person. That doesn't mean if we don't experience compassion we can't give it. Of course we can. But it's about deserving it. We deserve compassion, we deserve rest, we deserve peace. And mindfulness is about being aware of our own stillness, our own peace, and our own needs in terms of spiritual relaxation and spiritual enlightenment. So I hope this has explained a little bit about mindfulness practice. And I hope my meditation techniques have helped if you've been struggling with meditation, or you haven't been able to find the time or the right techniques. But if you have any problems at all, just drop me an email at juliekellymail@gmail.com, or you can go to my website at www.juliekelly.co.uk, or of course you can catch me on Facebook. All right, bye now.